Good day everyone and welcome to our class this morning. In today's video, we are going to talk about the digital literacy skills in the 21st century. By the end of this video, students are expected to have identified and described the elements of the digital literacies. This lesson will focus on the digital skills and digital literacy as response to the 21st century developments. The majority of the millennial students have grown up with technology. They practically have a better understanding of how to use a tablet, an iPad, or a smartphone or a laptop than anyone else. This implies that they have what we call as the digital skills. However, the big question is, are all students digital literates? When we say digital literacy, it refers to the ability to think critically about how to use digital tools, acquire information, and demonstrate ways of working in environments that are globally competitive, as well as possess the 21st century life skills. In other words, digital literacies are the individual's capabilities to be able to effectively and responsibly function and perform in a digital society. In the teaching and learning context, digital literacy is an important competence. In school, it has become a buzzword which refers to the ability to access, process, utilize, create media content using information technologies and the internet. Now, what are the varied digital literacies? The first one is the media literacy. Media literacy is one's ability to critically read information or content and utilize multimedia in creatively producing communications. The second one is the information literacy. It refers to the ability of someone to locate information from the web and interpret while evaluating its validity in order that it can be shared. So it's knowing if the information is valid or not. Next is ICT literacy. It is knowing how to select and use digital devices, applications, or services to accomplish tasks requiring the use of the internet. The next one is communications and collaboration, are one's capabilities in being able to participate in the digital networks in the teaching and learning context. The next we have the identity management. So it is being able to understand how to ensure safety and security in managing online identity and foster a positive digital reputation. Next we have the learning skills. Learning skills are ways of knowing how to study and learn in a technology-enriched environment. This is knowing how to utilize technology in addressing the need to learn effectively. And the last but not the least, we have the digital scholarship. It refers to the ability to be able to link and participate in professional and research practices online. Now, one important component of the digital literacy is having an in-depth understanding of the concepts requiring the essential core skills. These core skills are known as the C's of the 21st century skills. Now, to perform well in the 21st century, you need to develop and enhance these skills, namely critical thinking, creativity, communication, and collaboration. All these skills are necessary for students to do well in school and succeed in their future workplace. What do you mean by critical thinking? Critical thinking is learning how to solve problems. It teaches students not to accept immediately claims without seeking the truth. It is the ability to differentiate facts from opinions and not just learn a set of facts or figures, but also discover these for the sake of knowing what ought to be. Now, when we say creativity, it requires students to think out of the box and to take pride in what is uniquely theirs. It means that they will be able to look at a problem from the multiple perspectives, including can propose multiple possibilities to address problems. It encourages students to think beyond the expectations of the conventions. Now, when we say communication, it makes students express their ideas in the clearest and organized manner. Through varied modes such as the face-to-face, technology, mediated or blended medium, they need to know how to efficiently and clearly convey their ideas. And the last but not the least is the collaboration. It happens when students know how to work well with others to accomplish a given task or to solve a problem at hand. Collaboration teaches students that groups can create something bigger and better than you can on your own. In addition to the 4 C's that were mentioned, there is also what we call as the citizenship and character. Citizenship is also known virtually as netizenship. Now in here, the person is forced to think about how they behave in accordance to the standards and regulations that are in line with what is socially and practically acceptable, right? So have you noticed that when you post something which is not, which go against this, the socially and practically acceptable, so what happens is that people are being bashed for the things that they are posting. So basically what you have to do is to think before you post and click on the internet. And by the way, the result of your behavior, of how you behave in the internet, in the social media, will result to your reputable digital identity, which is called your character. So that is why, if you will notice, a lot of people, even mga before hindi sila prominent people, but later on they gained a lot of followers because of the character which they were able to establish on the internet. That is because they have established this kind of character na ganito siya, ganon siya. So that's why people are following them. So because they were able to establish this character. So based on the things that they are posting online also, right? So next is digital literacy skills versus digital literacy. So digital literacy skills are required in the wired world. So these skills vary text to images to multimedia. Now, future teachers who will be handling students considered as tech-savvy should equip themselves as the competencies and fluencies needed to handle the fast emerging tools and applications that should be able to handle even the artificial intelligences. Now, here are the 8 digital literacy skills needed to become digitally literate. These are identified by Lynch in 2017. So according to Lynch, These digital literacy skills are needed to become digitally literate. And these are, the first one is the coding. Coding is a universal language. Basic understanding of the HTML, CSS, and the like will create a shared understanding of what can be done with the web pages. Next is collaboration. Collaboration is the use of the Google Docs, among others, allow students to begin experimenting with effective online collaboration. Next, we have the cloud software. It is essential part of document management. The cloud is used to store everything from photos to research projects to term papers and even music. Next, we have the word processing software. We have the Google, Microsoft Online Dropbox are available for storage and management solutions. Then we have the screencasting. Screencast is a video recording using computer screen and usually includes an audio. On the other hand, when you take a picture on the screen of your computer or your iPad or your cell phone, it is called as the print screen. Screencasting is a video screen capture, which is a great way to share ideas and is easy to use. Next, we have the personal archiving. Students should be taught the concepts of metadata, tagging, keywords, and categories to make them aware how they are represented online. Next, we have information evaluation. Critical thinking to weed out fake news in the crucial 21st century skills. The use of tools and skills needed to process information are very much needed. So we really have to know and to teach our students how to evaluate the information which they could get on the internet. Yes, there are a lot of things that you can get from the internet with just one click, but it is important that students know how to decipher and to evaluate which ones are valid and which ones are not. Next, we have the use of social media. Social media serves different purposes depending on the user, the technology, and the need. For example, students should realize that Twitter can be useful for staying current on the latest news in the field. Now, it is important to remember that students and teachers not only be proficient in how to use technology. That means they should not only know the digital skills, but they should also be digitally literate. They need to see the information and the media technology to evaluate, create, communicate information, requiring both cognitive and technical skills. Now, here are some examples of how the digital skills or proficiency support digital literacy. So, it is not enough for students to know how to send an email or a text, but students should be able to evaluate the appropriate digital channel for online communication with peers, teachers, and parents. Next, it is not enough that students know how to use Microsoft Office or Google, but students should be taught how to identify the benefits and drawbacks of each digital tool and evaluate critically which tool is most effective for the project at hand. And it is not enough that students know how to tweet, post to Facebook, upload a video to YouTube, or posting a photo to Instagram, but students should be taught how to navigate the social media safely to protect oneself and identify the hate propaganda and fake news. Next, students should not only be taught how to research from the World Wide Web, but rather they should be taught how to evaluate information online. Is this legitimate? Is the author an expert? Is the information current or dated? Or is the idea neutral or biased? So in other words, class, in conclusion, developing digital skills amongst our students is not enough, but we also have to develop in them this what we call as the literacy or digital literacy skills. So I hope you learned something from our discussion today. Goodbye and have a